Alright guys, this is a wee live review all day for you. It saves me just putting a video together and editing it and then uploading it later. As you can see, this wee light bar's flashing away like hell. I'll put this off the now. Now, this is the LAP electrical, if it'll focus for me. LAP electrical LED, I call this a mini light bar. I know you get a lot of them that's similar to this in terms of profile, but it's only approximately 2 inches high, where it would be possibly considered a micro light bar, etc. This, however, class as a mini light bar, purely because of the size of it in comparison to some of the micro ones who are a lot smaller than this. It has 10 individual light units of 2 LEDs per unit, as you can see there. 2 sets of 2, and also there's 10 in total, 5 on either side. This comes with 7 mixed 7 stored ready function patterns, which is controlled through, well, I'll say this now, I bought it second hand, and it is in really good condition. The boy that I got it off, he bought it off it came off his transit van that he went and purchased. So please excuse my setup here, but this is solely for the review of this for now. And I give him a power socket. Right, your yellow cable here, right, it's simply 3 cables. You've got your live, your earth, well, your live, your neutral, and the yellow wire. The yellow wire here is what controls your mode select for the flash patterns. Now, the mode select and the flash patterns are already stored inside there in the wee box that you usually find inside the LED light bars when they've got multi-function patterns. Basically like a wee computer inside the light bar, right? Now, this particular model would have came with a cigarette socket attached to it, right? However, the cigarette socket that normally comes attached to the plug wouldn't necessarily have an on-off switch there. It would actually be, if you've seen or looked at other light bars, it would have a two switch on the upper part here. So when you plug it in, you would press obviously the power switch for on, and you'd have another wee flip switch to the right or left of that power switch, and as the power's on and it's flashing away and operating, you'd flick that wee switch down and it would independently switch between the flash patterns, of course. Now, I've done this solely for, I've added a socket in here literally just for the review and for the show and tell of this particular light bar. This particular wee light bar, for the price that it comes at retail on new price, is relatively quite cheap, to say the least. But it is made by a good company. It is a good sturdy wee light bar. It can be left on your roof of your vehicle. It doesn't necessarily, it is waterproof. This particular set comes, this particular model, sorry, comes with 4 heavy duty magnets for sitting on your roof. So it's designed to be taken down, and it is ideal for what I am currently doing at the minute. Now, the particular setup here with the wiring, this will be rewired by myself and fully reinstalled, because up here's fine where the cable goes into it. However, this would have had at least another good metre or so wiring against it before you got to the power supply, and that just makes it easier for going out the door and to the roof. However, I may actually just cut and rewire the full thing and take away this coil thing, because it's designed for, what do I call it, it's designed for obviously storage and keeping space, because obviously the cable does significantly stretch, especially when the light bar will be operating. It will generate heat and become a lot more loose and not just as rigid. However, I prefer a nice long straight cable, especially if I'm putting it into putting it through the door and onto the roof. In this case, where it is a wee takedown light bar model. However, as I say, 7 flash patterns, which I can't exactly show you because I've not got the ability to change the patterns with this. However, I've got, what do you call it? I've got all the wiring in the house ready to go. I've got cigarette sockets for power supplies ready to come, because I've got another, as I mentioned before in my previous live stream, I've got a light bar approximately the same size as this one on its way, which just came off another van via eBay. It's a Britax model, but it's the twin rotary strobe models, so it's the old style with the twin rotating lights. However, with this particular model, I could easily attach this wee particular box here with the power button on, and attach the yellow wire for the mode selector into this as well, and that would give me the ability to switch all the patterns without any trouble. However, for this wee model, I mean, as you can see, I've not had to do much to it. The only thing I'm needing to do to this particular light bar is either rewire the whole thing and take this whole section out and put a nice long straight clean waterproof wire into it, or simply extend this part here and give it a full functioning power supply as well. But other than that, it's ready to go. Now, as I was mentioning before, this is going to come as part of a package, because I will do a number of packages coming up for sale. Well, for sale, and I might even run a wee competition with one with different makes. And the idea behind it all is that the light bar itself can sit easily stored in your boot in any size of car, no matter what car you've got, irrespective of the size. You can sit in there with a high-vis vest and your normal breakdown equipment and that if you're in a breakdown or an accident or anything like that, you can easily, within a matter of a minute, take everything out of your car, plug it in, put it on your roof, and the job's a good one. Basically, that's the idea. It's for simplicity, along with easy use and, how do I put it, easy storage, and that's the whole point of it. Now, I'll give you a wee hang with it again with this. These, the only way to describe it is, if you mind them, for those of you who have been regular subscribers and have been with me for a while now, who have followed my channel, you'll remember my old light bar, the 1.2 metre big clear lens LED on the vans that I had. Now, these are virtually the same LEDs except just a smaller unit. Instead of being 4 LED lights per panel, it's 2. And obviously it's a amber lens, which, in saying that, I mean, it is quite clear, but it's not the greatest clearability in terms of this camera. But I'll give you a wee idea. I'll put this light off and I'll let you see it from outside as well, because it does give you, offer full 360 degree coverage. And I say this is just a wee live stream to go with the light bar, so I'm not having to faff about with uploading multiple clips and try to edit it, because I will keep this wee live stream short. As I said, I've got it on the pattern now, obviously for this display, for this wee review. I've got it on the most, well, as far as I'm concerned, the most visible and the most highly effective flash pattern, for all intents and purposes. But if I remember correctly, you do get your, like it's doing there now, you've got your, it'll flash alternative sides back and forth, and then it'll do that where it flashes the whole light bar and a multi-flash pattern. I think about 8 flashes in total. And having said that, for a wee light bar like this, and for the price it compared to some of the new light bars you're getting out there, I mean, I'm selling this wee unit with a high vis at the minute. I'm trying to get flares together to go with it as well. If I can get, where's my power switch so I don't blind myself. If I can get the likes of the wee road flares that I've got, the flash flares, if I could get a couple of them, or find someone that supplies them, or even just the wee, I can't even remember the name of them, the standard road marker flares which you get in the wee packets now. You can buy packets of 6, you can buy packets of 2, you can buy them on their own. However, they're significantly more expensive than the flares I use, that I've got in this car. My flash flares are a lot cheaper, and I'm getting a pair at a time. And my own personal opinion, after reviewing and seeing the different wee flares that you get on the market now, the wee red flares that I've got, with them being upright wee ones with wee stands, carry case and everything like that, I got them there for £12.99 compared to some of these wee standard flat flares that you get for the road markings, which you'll ken the ones I'm on about, guys, where it's the wee, I think it's got 8 LEDs on the outside of it, and it can be used as a torch and whatever else. The wee LED flares I've got do the exact same thing with, but they're far bigger and far brighter. And I mean, at least they stand up and give you a bit of clearance as well. And you can attach them to your roof, no different from the other ones, but from a purely financial point of view, for carrying in your car, it's far cheaper in the day, if not the same, a far better job as far as I'm concerned. As you've seen with a lot of the videos as well, even in broad daylight. I just didn't trust a wee disc LED flare with tiny wee LED bulbs sitting across the road, especially in daylight, that somebody's not going to run over them. At least with mine, you're getting a bit of clearance plus reflective tape, plus they're up high. Even on their wee stands, even in the winds, they're far more visible than these wee things that you see going about. If I could, the packages I would like today, and obviously I would advertise them and review them, each item, each light bar, etc. Because this has been the first wee review I've done for, Christ, how long? A good wee while anyway, put it that way. I would like to put the package together where it's could incorporate, for lack of a better word, incorporate together with your existing built-in car repair kit, i.e. your jack, your tow bar, tow ring, tow rope, maybe things like that, depending on how your car's set out. If you've got a cage underneath for a spare wheel, or in the boot of the car where it's sumped into a crevice, lowered down into a underneath the floorboard type bit, not the floorboard, the boot lining, floorboard, it's not a house, things like that. It could be incorporated in there with taking up any room if very little, and it'd be easy access, easy to use, but giving you a full emergency kit in the car, but on a relative financially cheap point of view as well, for in the event of an accident, a breakdown, or whatever the case may be, as you've seen. Now, on that note, there's not really much more I can say about the light bar. I mean, that wee light bar itself, it's waterproof, it comes from a reputable company, it is a bright little bugger, I'll tell you that much. I will upload later on tonight though, with this footage, this review here, if you're still listening to me blabbing on, has now been going on for 10-12 minutes. The reviews at the beginning there, for all you that have missed it, I will upload test footage again just on its own, for anybody else that wants to use it as a reputable, as a point seeing how the machine, the actual light bar operates. But once in the next week or so, I will have an idea of what's going to be going with it. Pricing wise, with that particular light bar and everything else I want to try and get with it, whether it's high vis vest and whatever else, try to keep prices down, and obviously because as I say, what the hell was that? And I say that light bar second hand. All I'm doing is just making sure it's refurbed and making sure it's fully operational and safe and ready to do the job. Everything else is I'm just adding everything else in as extra. I wouldn't like to say I would go over £30 at a push, and that's for the light bar, high vis vests, and maybe flares or something else that I can add in there and make a good wee emergency package, if you like. That's the idea anyway. But so far, price I've paid for that, price I'm finding used light bars at, irrespective of their style, whether LEDs, rotaries, or even the new Cree LEDs. I mean, I could take my grill lights and make a light bar for about 20 quid, and I could put as many lights in it as, if no double the amount that's in it, for the same price as what you'd buy that brand new. But the idea is practicality and obviously relatively easy use and the price point. However guys, I'm going to end this review now, because obviously I'm going to blab on, I'm just going to end up repeating myself. Any questions, and if anybody's wanting this wee light bar, give us a wee shout in the comment section below, once this video is fully uploaded obviously, and I'll be happy to discuss it with you and arrange with how to get it to you as well, and we'll see what we can work out. Alright guys, have a good night, I'll see you again very soon.